This is the audiobook for Tree Novel, a novel I wrote as part of a 24-hour challenge. Well, it's more of a novella, but semantics, you know? I am doing this in one take because I don't want to have to edit this. It's kind of a last-minute thing I'm doing, and I don't want to have to deal with this for as long as I'd have to otherwise. Anyway, that being said, here's the audiobook. I know I said you shouldn't read this. I did not say you shouldn't have to listen to it. Something's different. I can't taste the light. I feel the sun's warmth, but I'm still hungry. I'm thirsty. And I felt coldness before, but nothing of this caliber. Everything's white. Wait, no. I'm starting to make out images. Movement, creatures. Giant trees of metal appear to be towering over me like deities. Creatures about my height move on a large stone path on their hind legs. I don't know how I can tell, but I think they've noticed me. Come to think of it, I've never experienced this before. What is this? Thought? Sentience? Sir! I turn my neck. I have a neck? What's a neck? To see another one of those organisms. It seems interested in me. Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to come with me, the thing says. These things all have workings of fabric on them. What's fabric? But this one has a shiny medallion on its chest. I've never seen anything like it before. Well, actually, I guess I've never seen anything before. He starts making those sounds into a small box. He grabs me by a limb and, what's this? My limb appears to be soft, squishy, like the thing, like all the other things. I turn my neck down, whatever that is, and see that I too am a thing. I'm rootless. Instead, I have two lower limbs holding me up. I stumble around as the thing with the shiny thing on its clothwear takes me to whatever it is. It's like the tall metal trees, but smaller. There are a lot of them moving on the stone path, so I guess this one has that ability too. One new thing after another, and they end up putting me in a big box. They put some orange fabric on me, and now I'm in an enclosed space with other organisms. Tree Novel, J.R. Appel. Chapter 1, 4 months later. Another slow night? Andy asks, and I walk in the door at 2 a.m. Yeah, I say, throwing my trench coat on the kitchen counter and melting into the couch beside him. Can we watch something other than the news tonight? He looks back at me and smirks. Whatever, he says, throwing the remote into my lap. I gotta go to bed anyway. I turn on Animal Planet. I met Andy in jail back then. He's taught me everything I know now. Words, what everyday objects are. I don't think he knows I used to be a tree, though. He might think I'm mentally challenged, come to think of it. But he's nice. He told me it'd be hard for me to get an actual job with something on my record, but he was nice enough to get me a job where he works. Well, it's not really much of a where. I just pick a street, corner, or an alleyway to stand in until someone talks to me. Then I give them a small bag and they give me currency. He also let me move in with him. He lets me pay for the rent, and he pays for everything else. He tells me New York City is an expensive place to live, but rent is the cheapest thing about living here, so he's actually doing me a huge favor. I like Andy. I also like walks. Going outside reminds me of what was. I like finding a patch of dirt next to the sidewalk and just standing there, taking in the sunlight, the wind, the rain. I find that now that I have clothes to wear, nobody in New York really cares if I stand completely still in a patch of dirt. Sleep also reminds me of my time as a tree. Visionless, thoughtless existence. I wake up at 7 a.m. every day to hear the pigeons chirp. I do sometimes get a little tired in the morning, so Andy recommended I go try the coffee place down the street, and that I know it's the right place because it'll look pretentious as fuck but smell good as shit. One coffee, please, I say to the lady at the counter. Okay, what do you want in it? Oh, just coffee is fine. Black coffee then? Any color's fine. Can I get your name? Guy. Andy gave me that name. When he asked me what mine was, I didn't even know what speaking was, so he just started calling me Guy. I get my drink and take a seat at one of the tall round tables. Someone's looking at me. A lady in a red shirt. She doesn't avert her eyes from me, even when taking a sip of her coffee. I take a sip of mine. It's really bad. I take another sip. Why would anyone like this? She's still looking at me. I take another sip. It's so unbelievably bitter. She gets up and starts walking over to me. I take another sip. Actually, it's starting to grow on me. She sits down across the table from me. I know you're a tree. I gulp down some more of that bitter juice. I hate it, but I think I need more of it. How do you know? We can't talk here, she says, standing back up. But you're the one who talked to me. She hands me a slip of paper. Meet me at this address, 7 p.m. How long will this be? I have work at 9. But when I looked back up, she had vanished. Well, not vanished exactly. She was just kind of walking away towards the door, but I got the impression she didn't want me to follow her. When I walked in the apartment, Andy was sitting at the counter, drinking beer out of a plastic bowl. Hey, Andy, do you know where this is? I say, handing him the slip of paper. He takes a glance at it and takes another sip from the beer bowl. Queens, why? A lady at the coffee place told me to meet her here last night. Told me to meet her here later tonight. Also, coffee is gross, but I think I'll be drinking it a lot from now on. I'm happy you have a date, but you got work tonight, pal, he grunted. Would it be possible for me to show up a little late, just this once? No. Okay. Andy's always been good to me, so I'm sure he has his reasons. I picked a nice alleyway to stand in tonight. I've been using this alley for the last few days or so, and there's always such a gentle breeze through here. And the police station is right across the street, just in case I get in any sort of trouble. I just wish business wasn't so slow around these parts. A van pulls in front of the alley, blocking my view of the police station. The side door swings open. It's the girl from earlier. Get in. Okay, I say, walking over. I wonder how she found me. The van smells. It doesn't smell like cigarettes or spilled cereal like the apartment does, but it does have a smell to it. It smells clean. The lady with the red shirt doesn't say anything else. Neither does the large man driving the van. We sit in silence until the van pulls into the parking lot of a large white building. There's a big metal fence around it. Andy tells me that usually means that it's rich people shit or it's government shit, and that I probably don't want to deal with either. What is this place? I ask as the car pulls to a stop. You've been compliant up until now, the driver says. The red shirt girl doesn't say anything. Keep doing as we say, and you can stay awake. I don't know quite what that means, but I think I trust the red shirt girl. She knows who I am. Okay. The side door swings open, and two nicely dressed men grab each of my arms. The suits are nice, but I don't know whether it's rich people shit or government shit. They walk me through the building and throw me in a room with a bunch of other people. Chapter 2. The Gardener. I'm in a white room. The ceiling is lined with heat lamps and sprinklers. There are a few shower drains on the floor. 6 other people stand in here with me. All but one are naked. 3 turn their heads in acknowledgement of my entering. 3 continue facing straight forward. 2 return their heads back to a neutral forward position. The clothed one walks towards me. I guess there was another straggler after all, she says. Her long dark hair rested gently on her navy blue New York Yankees hoodie. I'm Wendy. Guy, I say. What's all this? I know about as much as you do. From what I can gather, whoever these people are have been turning trees into humans. These ones look like they were made in a controlled environment, and somehow the both of us are made somewhere else. I see. She has shiny eyes, like a police badge. The door opens. A large man in a suit walks in with a naked man draped over his shoulder, like a bag of laundry. He sets the man down, both unfazed by the abnormality of the situation, and the well-dressed man leaves, closing the door behind him. Wendy turns my head towards her. Don't look at it when I tell you, but I'm pretty sure the wall with the door is a one-way mirror. I don't look, but I take her word for it. I can't imagine they plan on doing anything pleasant to us, she whispers to me. Let's find a way out of here. I'm not so sure, I say. What? Why? Isn't this all just weird and off-putting as fuck? I was a tree 4 months ago. I feel like it can't get much weirder than that. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't mean we should take everything weird that happens to us at face value. It seems like a really bad idea for us to stay here. I think I trust them. Why? The lady in the red shirt, she knew who I was. They all do. They made us. Yeah, but that must mean they know even more about us than we do. Would it be such a bad idea to stick around and learn a bit more? She grits her teeth. Listen, just because these people might know more than you does not mean they know what's best for you. We need to leave now. The door opens again. This time, a man in a white jumpsuit and a gas mask enters. Behind him, he wheels in a machine, about 2 feet tall. A hose of some sort leads from the machine to the squirt gun in the man's hand. He sprays the woman closest to the door, making sure to apply an even coat of mist over her entire body. He pulls a syringe out of a compartment in the machine and injects her with it, on the left side of her neck. She continues to stand still as he moves on to the man next to her. Wendy and I look back at each other. Guy, we need to leave right now. The gardener doesn't seem to notice, or maybe he does and just doesn't care. I trust the girl with the red shirt. Yeah, I know, but what about me? I know who you are too. You're like me, and unlike her, I'm actively trying to help you out instead of lock you in some weird laboratory. The gardener begins spraying her with the mist. Get away from me. She shoves him and runs towards the door. It opens, and the large, well-dressed man walks in, shutting it behind him. He grabs her and holds her still, with her back facing the room. Let me go, she yells, struggling. The gardener lifts the back of her sweatshirt, revealing a small round birthmark on the back of her back. He applies an even coat of the mist. I stand, watching. They know what's best for us, I know it. But watching her scream and writhe, it doesn't feel right. I almost want to step in and help her, but I can't. I just feel like standing here. I'm comfortable here. It's what I know. The gardener takes the syringe to her neck. She turns and looks at me. Tears well up as the shine in her eyes drains away. The emotion gone. The large man places her next to me. She looks straight forward. That's all she can do now. Through my tears, I see the gardener turn his attention to me. The large man stares me down. I stand upright in shock as a fine mist covers my exposed areas. I feel the gardener lift up the back of my coat and start spraying me. I feel tingly, a similar feeling to taking in sunlight. I look at Wendy. She's really gone. The gardener turns my head back to face forward. I turn again. Is this really what we're all here for? To passively accept whatever comes our way? He turns my head again. I look back. No, not Wendy. She wanted to leave. She didn't want to stand around and let these people determine the rest of her life for her. He turns my head back. Would you stop that? I yell. The gardener, syringe in hand, turns his head to the large man and nods. The large man nods back and reaches for me. I reach for my waist. I can't stand around here anymore. I can't let Wendy die like this. Not like this. Annie said to show this to someone if they didn't give me enough money, but he also said if I felt my life was ever in danger, to use it. I take it out from under my trench coat and point it at the large man. He steps back in surprise. It's got a gun! He isn't able to finish due to the bullet puncturing his windpipe. He falls to his knees, blood running into one of the drains. Another one lodges itself in its head. He falls limp. Is life really that fragile? The gardener is already at the door, frantically trying to open it. It cracks open, and so does his skull from another round. I turn and look back at the others. I look at Wendy. They don't look back. I walk out. I'm surrounded. 10 men with much larger guns than I have are locked onto me. Behind them, 2 men are having a heated argument. It's one of our subjects. You know how much money that thing cost us to create? One of them shouts. You've got 7 more in that room back there, don't you? The other one shouts back. This one is a threat and we need to dispose of it. How can I get out of here? There's no opening for me to run. No way to escape from above either, and I doubt I'm strong enough to put a hole in the floor. There's no way out back the way I came either. And if I start firing them at them now, one of them will surely hit me before I hit all of them. Is it really going to end like this? The one that wants to kill me seems to have won the conversation. It seems I have no choice. I go left to right. 1 down, 2 down, I'm hit. 3 down, 4 down, I'm hit again. How am I still firing? 5 down, 6 down, 7 down. I'm hit, this time right between the eyes. I fire a blank. I'm out of bullets. Between my eyes, I can see tendrils of some sort intertwining. I'm not bleeding. I look down for wounds. There are some holes in my clothing. I'm not bleeding. At each point I was shot is a small green sprout growing. The 2 men behind the 3 remaining soldiers seem to be worried by this. I pick up one of the other guns and make their death quick. Not painless, just quick. I'm out of breath. I'm tired, but not sleepy. I'm hungry, but my stomach isn't growling. A noise catches my attention. It's the sound of water running. Where is that coming from? I stop looking around once I notice the one-sided window looking into the other room. The showers are going off. I slowly make my way over to the room. I stand next to Wendy and look straight forward. The heat from the lamp revitalizes me, but can't warm my soul. The water from the showers saturates me, but can't hide my tears. Chapter 3. Rage. A siren blares throughout the building. My wet books squeak with every step down the hallway, not from the water that replenished my energy, but from the blood of the many men that I have killed since then. Andy always told me that the guy in charge of any place is at the top. I check every room looking for a stairwell and massacring anyone I see. A green man is walking towards me. A green man is walking towards me? I shoot him in the head, but he keeps charging forward. A few more bullets penetrate his skin, but he doesn't stop. He wraps his hands around my neck and throws me to the ground, putting the weight of his entire body on me. I can't breathe. He takes one hand off my neck and reaches into his pocket. He pulls out a syringe. He's too strong. I can't shake him off, and without any carbon dioxide, it's getting hard to stay conscious. The syringe approaches my neck, and my vision begins turning white. Funny how it's doing that. Quite poetic. Something hits me in the head. It was the green man's head. That should be on his body. I see a hand. A flash of red. I grab hold and I'm brought back up to my feet. You? The lady in the red shirt wipes a tear from my eye. You seem different than before. She looks the same as before and is now brandishing a hand axe. Let's go before that guy's head grows back. A look at the green man's body. A sprout is poking out from the center of his neck. It slowly grows inside, and I can barely make out the man's face on the stem. Red shirt lady grabs me by the arm. Let's go. Wait, I say. You brought me here in the first place. What's your deal? Why should I trust you? She giggles and smiles back at me. Well, I guess you're just going to have to take my word for it. Blood erupts from the top of her head and drips from the hole in her chin down to the muzzle of my handgun. The life escapes from her eyes and she falls backwards. Her body lands on the floor, but her soul lands in hell. The door at the end of the hallway swings open. 3 more green men rush out of it, with 2 more regular men walking out from behind. You see, one says, it's useless trying to take it alive. We need to kill it. Well, it was worth a shot, Major, says the other. Whatever, deal with it how you need to. I need to get started on the hours of paperwork this is going to cost me. He walks back through the door and up a flight of stairs. Guy, was it? The man booms from down the hall. At least that's what the other thing called you in the nursery. Care to make this a little easier on us and shoot yourself? There's still some honor in admitting defeat, you know. Better that than have the prototypes wipe you out. The green men, the prototypes, continue marching towards me. The one on the floor's head is close to growing back completely, but he's still not moving. It seems like... I drop the guns and pick up the hand axe, swinging at the closest prototype's neck with all my might. Its head and body both succumb to gravity. One grabs me by the shoulders, the other takes out a cleaver. I duck, just narrowly dodging the blade. I swing the axe and chop off the attacker's head from behind. By the time I can take care of the third, the man at the end of the hall is gone. The stairwell. I climb up and open the uppermost door. I'm met with the brisk winter air and an empty night sky. I appear to be on the roof. But the person in charge wouldn't have an office on the roof, would they? And he said the top, but I'm not sure this is what he meant. I could probably escape from right here. I think that's what Wendy would want, but... A helicopter flies over my head. A number of vans and large trucks pull out from the parking lot. I see them loading in the people like me. I see them loading in the people like me. Like, the people like me. I see them loading in Wendy. Wendy? Why didn't I take Wendy? She can't be all gone, could she? She's still alive in there somewhere? Stupid. Maybe I can still... A rocket fires at me from the helicopter. An explosion blasts me backwards. But the door to the stairwell catches me. Fire eats at my skin, my clothes. Everything hurts. Through the flames, I could see the van with Wendy in it disappear past the metal gate. Damn it, God damn it, I say, punching the ground with my burning fist. Crying in a blaze, I crawl down the stairs into the nursery. The showers doused the flames, but not my grief, my distraught, my rage. That's what I want. I want Wendy back. And I want revenge. Chapter 4. Whisked Away. Another slow night? Andy asks, and I walk into the door, at 2 a.m. Yeah, I say, throwing my trench coat and the large guns. I'm going to start this chapter over. Chapter 4, Whisked Away. Another slow night? Andy asks, and I walk in the door at 2 a.m. Yeah, I say, throwing my trench coat and the large guns on the kitchen counter. Holy fucking... Where the hell did he get those? What happened to your clothes? They're all burnt. Why are you covered in blood? He's standing up now, but I melt into my usual spot in the sofa anyway. I didn't make any sales tonight. I hope that's alright. Yeah, man, that's fine. Whatever, but you good, man? Yeah, I guess it's just harder for me to move at night now. Oh, okay. Well, I'll be in my room if you need me. He closes the door to his room. I hear him on the phone with someone. I don't think he's calling the cops or anything, but it's probably a bad idea to stay here very long. The news is on. It's the burning building. No mention of me, though. They seem to be calling it an accident, and that everyone and everything got out safely. Who knows where Wendy could be, though, now. Knock, knock, knock. That's odd. It's 2 a.m. Who could be at the door? I take a gun and slowly walk over to the door. Through the peephole, I can make out a small, scruffy-looking man with a bandana over his head. I could take him. I open the door. Guy? Says the man. The man asks in an Irish accent. Yes, I respond in a normal accent. Are you the person responsible for all the dead bodies in that government facility explosion incident from tonight? Yes. Okay, great. Well, I'm sure you've had your reasons, he chuckles. Anywho, you seem like you have a very unique set of abilities, and I've come to formally invite you to a place where you can hone those abilities to their highest potential. I don't understand. A school for humanities oddities, sir. You in? How did you find me? Who are you? Why should I trust you? You have burnt clothing and bloodstains all over you. You're not exactly hard to track. My name's Frankie Ferguson. I'm a failed Irish government experiment from the 1840s. They wanted to create a cure for the potato famine, and they tested it on me. But instead, it done fucked up and made me immune to the effects of aging. And you should trust me because you probably don't have anywhere else to go now, kid. I see red and blue lights flashing from outside the window. I grab the short man by his collar. Did you do this? Of course not. Your roommate's on the phone with the cops right now. I look back at Andy's bedroom door. I hear his voice. It's shaking. Did he really? I look back at Frankie. Can you help me? Yes. Will you help me get stronger? Yes. Can you get us out of here? Yes, yes, yes. A figure emerged from his shadow. Hello, it said before consuming us. As soon as my vision returns, my eyes are met with the blinding light. As they adjust, I can make out a gravel driveway. I'm surrounded by trees. Darn it, Stephanie. Frankie is standing behind me. Why do you have to take us all the way out here? We're like a kilometer from campus. Sorry, the figure makes an appearance again, protruding from Frankie's shadow. Stephanie looks like the silhouette of a woman. That is all. You know how hard it is jumping from that far away? No, sorry for lashing out at you just now. That must have been quite a hassle. As we walk through the wooded path, my mind begins to wander. Andy and I like to watch movies on the weekends. Well, it was more like he put on a movie for me while he played with the little bags we sold. But some of those films had schools in them too. Harry Potter had a giant castle. The X-Men had a mansion. I can only imagine what sort of wonderful building I'll be able to hone my own special skills in. Well, here we are, Frankie beamed, gesturing towards a log cabin. Okay, well, honestly, it could have been much worse. I notice 4 other people as we walk inside. One tall, bearded man, who I assume is, of course, the principal or grandmaster equivalent. One man with the fish for a head. One girl in black with tattoos all the way down her arms. And one normal-looking guy. They are all looking at me. Hi, I say. The fish-headed man reaches for my hand and shakes it. Hello, young one. Welcome to our secret little school. I'm the head honcho around here, Mr. Oda. Pleasure to meet you. Oh, pleasure, I say, looking for the bearded man, but he's gone. Of course, you've already met Frankie the Vice Mister, and our second newest student, Stephanie. The other 2 here are Rachel and Doug. Oh, hi, everyone, I'm Guy. So what kind of abilities do you guys have? Wouldn't you like to know? Rachel scoffs. Yes, actually. That's why I asked. Oda, I'm gonna kick his ass, she screams. Doug holding her back. Oh, Rachel, you rascal, Oda chuckles. Or at least I think he's chuckling. How exactly do fish chuckle? Stephanie, be a good egg and show Guy around campus, yeah? Chapter 5. Lights flickering. So, what are you exactly? Stephanie asks. My tour around campus was pretty short, so we decided to sit at the fire pit out back and pass some time. I'm a tree, or at least I was. Now I don't know what I am. I look at my hands, watching the light of the fire flicker off my skin. It's warm, but not warm enough. Oh, wow. So, like, you can regenerate and stuff? Yeah. Do you need to eat and drink or sleep? I think I just need a shower and get sunlight now. That's so interesting. You're an interesting guy, she laughs, nudging my arm with her elbow. What about you and others? What are all your deals? I ask. Well, you know about Frankie already. I'm a fission experiment gone wrong, so I'm basically an animated black hole with boobs. Mr. Oda's a fish person. Rachel has telekinetic powers. And Doug's been here the longest, but what? Well, no one really knows what his ability is. He's just kind of quiet. What about the old guy? The guy that looks like a wizard? Yeah, him. He disappeared so quickly earlier. It seems like everyone here is the result of some scientific experiment. It's hard to imagine what any sort of logical explanation behind that is. What's his deal? That guy's a wizard. He shows up here sometimes. He's actually a wizard? Uh-huh. He's very nice. She places her hand on my leg. Or at least I think she does. You know, it's pretty late. No one's out right now. Yep, I say, thinking about dirt. She huffs and crosses her arms. Or at least I think she does. Guy? Yeah. Do you like girls? Like how? I mean, you're a tree, right? But you're also a person. Which part of you runs the reproductive department? Oh, I don't know. I haven't thought that much about it. I've mostly been thinking about my friend Wendy, I say. Wendy? That's a girl's name. Yeah, she's also a tree, but I couldn't save her. No, I let them take her. Up until then, I had just been passively choosing to go with wherever life took me, but doing that ended up hurting the one person that seemed to understand me. I understand you, Stephanie says, putting her hand back on my leg. I'm sure you do, Stephanie, but this isn't about that. I'm sorry, she says. It's okay, I say back. It's dark. I'm too tired to get mad anyway. After a while, she falls asleep next to me, and I sit, staring at the open flame, wondering how life came to be this way. 4 months ago, I was a tree. I learned how to act human, to fit in with the human world, and they go and turn me back into a tree. They took the only person that knew exactly how I felt because I trusted people too much. Now I'm out of school for science fair rejects. But one thing's for certain. I need to see Wendy again. I didn't know she's alright. Daylight revitalizes me. Getting hit with the blunt end of a large stick does not. Ow, I groan. Stephanie yawns and sits up, awake now. Behind me looms the fish man in charge of this place, but he has a cane now for some reason. Get up, you two. No fooling around in broad daylight. It's learning time. I'm a plant and she's a shadow. Not only were we not fooling around, I'm not even sure that would be possible. Quite the query. Anywho, follow me, Beansprout. He skips away, whistling to himself. Oda seems like the kind of guy I used to sell plastic bags to, I say, scratching my limbs or arms. Well, I guess limbs still works too. We walk into the cabin and each take our seat. The whole bottom floor of the cabin is modeled like a high school classroom, or at least what they think it looks like in the movies I've seen. Rachel and Doug walk in from downstairs, still wearing their pajamas, and sit next to us. Okie dokie then. Oda skips in from the kitchen, finishing off a can of worms. Let's talk calculus. He slams a massive textbook on the front desk. What? I yell. I was told we were coming here to help me get stronger. Why the hell are we learning math? You can't expect to kick ass if you don't know what a binomial is, guy, Rachel says, flipping to page 243 in her own textbook. And maybe read up on the course materials before you roll into class next time, moron. I was dragged in here last night with little to no warning. And what the fuck is a binomial? Oh, I'm glad you asked, Oda said, turning on a projector. Chapter 6. A Talk with God. I lay in my bed, facing up at the heat lamp Frankie bought for my room. Everyone else is asleep. I know I can't do it anymore, but I close my eyes anyway. When I open them again, everything's white again. Straight above me, I can make out a face in the light. Who are you? I ask the face. I'm not God, but I'm damn close. I see. I guess even weird dream deities have awkward silences. Why am I a person now? I ask. Do you want the short answer or the long answer? Long. People change. Sometimes change is subtle. It happens gradually over time. Sometimes change is sudden. Some events may cause drastic change almost immediately. For example, you used to be quiet, unknowing, polite, naive. But over these last 4 months, especially recently, you've become a lot more outspoken, critical, harsh. Still a bit naive, though. And likewise, some change happens very quickly. You were a tree, now you're a man, and also a tree. Short. The American government is trying to turn plants into an army of regenerative mind control soldiers with nothing to lose, and some of the chemicals they use leaked into the New York sewer system. One of your roots just so happened to reach down there. Huh. That wasn't much shorter. So how do I save Wendy? You don't. What? Yes, I can. No. Some mistakes can't be undone. Some choices you make are some that you'll have to live with the rest of your life regretting. You can't dwell on these regrets and waste your time trying to time travel to go and try and fix the unfixable. You can learn. You can move on from the mistakes of the past and help that morph you into a better person. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try. That may be true. But I, a celestial being comparable to, but not actually, God, I'm telling you that this is not something that can be redeemed. Okay, I guess I understand. What am I supposed to do now? Go back to school. I don't like school. Then what do you want to do? I want to destroy the American government. Then fuck it, destroy the American government. I'm sure that's what she would have wanted. With a blink, I'm back in my room. It's daytime now. I walk downstairs. Everyone else is already down there eating cereal. Rachel looks up at me. Morning, asshole. You guys want to help me destroy the American government? They all take a minute to process the sentence I just said at them, and look at me one by one. Mr. Oda walks in from the kitchen with a bowl of worms and milk. Well, sounds like a class field trip, he says, taking a swig from his bowl. Chapter 7. Destroying the American government, as told from the perspective of the American government. Commander General Howard stands in front of the country surveillance office, trademarked, as a team of highly trained, highly paid nerds study the 500 million screens, each with a different perspective on our badass American soil. Sir, a decorated veteran soldier walks into the country surveillance office, trademarked. There appears to be a coup. A coup. What? Commander General Howard responds. In this here greatest country in the world? Not on my watch, he says, flexing his giant bicep as an eagle swoops in from behind. Sorry, I'm trying to load more pages. Wattpad's being fucky. Sorry to ruin the immersion like this. So, give me a second, sorry. Okay, great. Where was I? He says, flexing his giant bicep as an eagle swoops in from behind. Sir, I should note that the group of terrorists do appear to have superpowers. Superpowers? Well, I'll be damned. In no way, shape, or form do I know how humans with superpowers could possibly exist. Sarge, those freedom-powered super soldiers, trademarked, ready to be deployed yet? Yes, sir. Just gave them their final dosage of liquid training, trademarked today. Fantastic, the general commander yells. The lights go out. So does every single one of the citizens' safety screens, trademarked. Sarge, what is the meaning behind this power outage? Commander General, we don't know. It may be the work of the enemy. Well, goddamn, they sure showed up here fast. Deploy every single soldier, super or not, that we've got. Because if our power-hungry military, our politicians, the rich people, our government falls, freedom will fall too. Sir, the entirety of the U.S. Army, including the esports team, was just swallowed by a black hole. My God, send every branch of the military here too. I'm afraid that's not possible, sir. A telekinetic punk girl has crushed the entire Marine and Navy units like beer cans, and the Air Force is currently fighting a wizard. I see. Space Force? Occupied with a man with a fish for a head. God damn it! The good news is, this means only three of the terrorists are here right now. What can they do? Not enough to beat our freedom-powered super soldiers trademark, that's for sure. Aha, splendid. Chapter 7.5, Destroying the American Government, as continued from Guy's perspective. See you guys later, Stephanie says, dropping me, Doug, and Frankie off at the main government building in Washington, D.C. See you, Steph. Good luck killing the army, Frankie says, waving goodbye. Okay, let's go, I say. We walk in through the front doors of the American government, ready to take on anything. Frankie sadly didn't make it past the first wave of the super soldiers. His only power was not aging, so he was pretty easy for them to take care of. Doug and I run through the halls, me with my flamethrower, him with his, I still don't know what his power is. An elevator opens to our right. 3 super soldiers step out. They're just like me, but almost God said that there was no saving them. So I guess I don't have to hold back. The only time I ever felt like I could potentially die was from the explosion that night. It took a long time for my body to heal after that, so I imagine fire is the way to go. One peels off and runs at me. The other 2 have their sights set on Doug. I quickly set the tree ablaze and look over at Doug's fight. One of the soldiers shoots at him, but he swiftly knocks the gun out of their hand. He kicks off the wall, grabbing the soldier's head and launches himself over him, grappling the soldier to the ground. Wait. The soldier goes to stab at him, but he disarms him with the precise flick of his hand. And is he just really good at martial arts? Is that really his thing? No, he's got to have like super strength or super speed or... I see you've noticed my impeccable martial arts ability, he says, kicking a soldier in the head. Your special ability really is just martial arts? Yup, he says, forcing his palm into the chest of a soldier in such a way that stops his heart. The climb to the top of the building was pretty easy, but now we stand before a pair of giant doors. This is probably the country surveillance office, TM, Doug says. We open the doors. It is. Just as we open the door, the lights turn back on. It sucks that we won't have the element of surprise anymore, but I'll be able to operate a lot better in the light anyway. A team of 7 super soldiers stands between us and the Commander General, the President, and every politician and absurdly rich person in the country. I know these 7 people. The leftmost one has long dark hair that drapes over her camouflaged military uniform. Her eyes have no shine to them. Wendy. A tear rolls down my cheek. I know that there's nothing I can do, but I feel like I have to try. I ruined her life by not trying earlier. It feels wrong that there's nothing I can do now, no matter how hard I try. Is there a chance Almost God is wrong? Doug looks at me. You know these ones? We came from the same nursery, and she's the reason I'm here. I see, Doug says. Is that going to be an issue for you? I could take care of them myself if you need. I look into her eyes. What would she want? What would someone who fights for their life want? What would someone who tries to help others want? Would she want this? To be controlled by the United States military? Would she want to continue living without a choice? No, Doug, I say, taking a step forward. No wish you're here. I'm going to help my friend. I burn her alive. I know that's what she would have wanted. Also, the Commander General, the President, and every politician and absurdly rich person in the country. She would have wanted that too. Chapter 8, Anthology. The end. A man closed the book on his lap. He placed it next to the sleeping infant and walked out into a starlit night sky. That's my story, Trevor, and I promise you that yours is going to be even wilder. Guy left his own home on Mars never to return again. The kid's a plant, after all. He can take care of himself. A 21-year-old Trevor stood on a mound of sand, staring up at that same sky. He looked exactly like his father, even back when he was just an acorn that sprouted from his dad's back birthmark. In the distance, he saw a spaceship. That's odd. What's a spaceship doing in space? He used his second-generation tree powers to grow his legs long enough that he could reach the ship. Unable to breathe due to this being space, he knocked on the door. It opened. Holy shit, did you just come in here from space? Said a hot astronaut girl. Yeah, said Trevor. Wow, that's crazy, she laughed. Let's go on wildest space adventures together. Oh my god, my dad totally said this would happen to me someday. That's crazy. The spaceship came to a screeching halt. Why has the spaceship come to a screeching halt? Trevor asked. We're out of space gas, the hot astronaut girl, whose name is Tammy, responded. That makes sense. Don't worry about it, though. The nearest space gas station is only like 2 miles away, and we can just row our way there. Okay. Hey, I get that you're an astronaut girl and all. A hot astronaut girl. That's right, my bad. A hot astronaut girl and all. But you have to add the word space before every single noun you use. Okay, I can chill out with that. The space will just be implied from here on out. Cool, thanks. The duo rode their spaceship to the nearest gas station. It took quite a while, since it's a large ship and there were only 2 of them rowing, but they eventually got there. They put on helmets and exited the vehicle. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pay inside, maybe pick up some snacks too, just hang out in here, and I'll wave at you if I get in any sort of kerfuffle. Sounds good, Trevor said, all cool-like. He stood there guarding the ship until he noticed Tammy waving at him, indicating that she had gotten into some sort of kerfuffle. Oh no, that's the signal indicating that Tammy is in some sort of kerfuffle, Trevor yelled. He ran into the gas station, and there was indeed a kerfuffle. The cashier has his hand around her throat. You clicked the option for credit, but that's a debit card. What kind of shady shit are you trying to pull in my convenience store? Whoa, Trevor intervened. Sorry about my friend here. It's cool. If it's cool with you, I'll just pay cash. Nope, sorry, pal. Your friend here took it way too far. She clicked no when it asked if she wanted to round up to the nearest dollar for charity. Oh, come on, man. You don't know where that money's going. Those orphans could be spending that 67 cents on hard drugs. He let go of Tammy's neck. Whatever, guys. Just get out of my gas station. No gas for you. Just get out of here. And so, Tammy and Trevor spent the next 10 or so minutes siphoning gas out of the cashier's spaceship. Chapter 9. Hey, Trevor, want to fight a planet? Hey, Trevor, want to fight a planet? Tammy asked. What in God's name are you talking about? He responded, taking a bite out of an endangered fruit. An endangered fruit. The every so often planet MMA tournament, she said, grinning. The time that comes around every so often where the sentient planets and those who want to fight them get in a bracket and settle things in the ring? Why every so often? There's really no universal time measurement yet. Terms like annual don't really work since every planet has a different year cycle. Gotcha, he said, killing off the last of that species for fruit. He doesn't even need to eat or anything. He just kind of did that for fun. The grand prize is 40,000 currencies. If you win, I'll give you a little smooch. I'm literally a plant, Tammy, but I am interested in that cash prize. Oh, and why's that? Because someone literally stole half of our spaceship last time we docked. We need a new spaceship, Tammy. Driving around in this thing is actually endangering our lives right now. I hope you're aware of that. Oh, you silly goose. Well, I'm sure I'm glad you decided to enter that tournament on your own. Why did you want me to enter so badly anyway? I already entered you and bet the rest of our savings on you winning. Excuse me? Welcome one and all to the Every So Often Planet MMA Tournament. I am your host, Gert Grubley, and this year we've got some big names, isn't that right, Werp? That's right, Gert, and of course I am your co-host, Werp Wenkels. Now that we finally spent a while talking about the brackets, let's go and look at our first fight. Okay, Werp, our first matchup is planet Saturn of the Milky Way galaxy versus Trevor, who is the only plant-human hybrid currently in existence, also from the Milky Way galaxy. What an interesting matchup, Gert. You said it, Werp. Anyway, here comes the oh-so-gorgeous Miss Multiverse, wearing her signature nothing. That's right, folks, she is completely naked. We all expected this, of course, because, after all, it is her signature look. And might I add that no one could pull it off quite like her, am I right, Werp? You're darn right, Gert. There she goes, holding up the sign with the 1 on it, indicating that it is time for round 1 to start. Is that right, Gert? Yes, that is right, Werp. The round 1 sign is indeed indicating that it is time for round 1 to start, as cemented by that there bell ringing. The bell has rung, and Trevor narrowly dodges a pretty massive punch from Saturn. Werp, do you think Trevor can stand after potentially taking a punch such as that one? Hard to say, Gert, but it seems as if Trevor is currently winding up for a punch of his own. He throws it, and it appears that Trevor has been sucked into the center of Saturn. Now how is that possible, Gert? I'm glad you asked, Wirt. Saturn appears to be entirely made of gases, meaning that anything within its gravitational pull is taken right down to its core. Oof, that's gotta hurt, Gert. Well, that seems like a TKO to me. Why don't we take a look back at our matchup for round 2? Chapter 9.5. I have a lot to complain about, and I'm putting it right here. Hey, why the fuck did I think this would be a good idea? Did I think this would be funny? Did I think I'd get a funny little internet point for this? I have 25 subs on YouTube. No one's seeing this shit for real. Why am I doing this? Why am I putting so much effort, sacrificing my mind, body, and soul into something I know isn't going to work out? It's 1:29 a.m. right now. I've been awake for a little over 15 hours right now, and I will likely stay up until that number hits 36. But why? Is it to improve my writing? Probably not. How would this improve my writing? I'm rambling for 24 hours straight. What part of that involves good writing? Good writing takes time and planning in advance, and this definitely has none of that. I guess it could improve my work ethic or my tenacity. Is that how you use that word? But I also feel like I'm going to hate writing for a while after doing this. I don't know, really. I'm just doing this for a wacky 2 truths, 1 lie fact I can use in the future. It's something I could put in my Tinder bio. Oh, why do I feel the need to push myself to do things that just make me stress out? I could barely handle the work I need to do. Why do I continuously add more to it? Do I hate myself that much? Is that what this is? Right now, it seems like even though my brain is starting to fall asleep, the caffeine is energizing my body quite a bit. Restless leg syndrome. My arm is twitching. It's 1:36 a.m. now. Everyone else on this campus is currently either getting sleep or getting laid. I am writing a book that maybe 2 people will ever read. Definitely Caleb. I definitely will not. I am being quite generous by saying 2. Man, I just don't understand myself. 8,300 words. Nice. Well, better keep this story flowing while my brain still has electricity in it, or however the fuck brains work. Also, is it weird that I kind of want to kill off Trevor? I got bored of the plant powers by like chapter 2, dude. Maybe I'll just make this story about a hot astronaut girl. Maybe I'll just make this story about hot astronaut girls in space. Chapter 10. The chapter where Trevor dies tragically. Trevor and Tammy drifted together in space, playing the hit card game Go Fish. Trevor was winning. Trevor, I think you're right about the ship needing to be repaired, Tammy said, going fish. Why do you say that? Trevor said verbally. She pointed behind him. He turned and saw a bunch of their playing cards stuck to the poorly repaired wall, being suctioned in place by the holes leading into space. Ah. Knock, knock, knock. I'll get it, said Trevor before opening the door and being sucked into the vacuum of space. It was very sad that Trevor died, and Tammy cried because Trevor was dead. Poor Trevor. His life was destined to be so wild. But at least he lived until 21. Not a lot of people can do that in space. Two hot astronaut girls walked in. Oh no, the one on the right said. Why are you crying in this broken spaceship? Yeah, said the one on the left. You should come party with us in our super cool and super not broken party girl ship. Okay, said Tammy, and thus the hot astronaut girl party ship gained a new member. Chapter 11. Fuck it, I'm starting over. A man at a desk typed furiously. Even though he had 5 cans of Mountain Dew in his system, his brain was shutting down. There was absolutely no way in hell he could keep this up. Just 14 more hours, he would chant to himself every now and then, in a delirious whisper. Every now and then he'd check his camera to make sure he was still recording. The time lapse he was going for wasn't that detrimental to the quality of the video he was making, but damn, it was going to be a cool shot. His fingers began to ache. His wrists were tight. His very lanky, unmuscular back was struggling to keep any sort of physical shape. He pondered how he had gotten to this point. He was 20 years old. He had good friends. He went to a good college. He could be doing anything. But instead, he typed away at his Lenovo Yoga trying to reach 40,000 real words, all contained in hopefully comprehensible sentences. He could be anywhere right now. If he could, where could he be? Where would he be? Where would he wish he could go? Was there anywhere else in the world other than this very room, in this very dorm, in this very college? Did life actually exist outside the realm of this man's mind, or was he just imagining it all? Probably the former. He'd have to go to a he'd probably have to have a damn good imagination to come up with all this shit. He can't even write 8 chapters of a single story. How the fuck could he come up with something as genius as the Great Emu War? Damn it, his back hurt. It hurt so goddamn much. It wasn't built for this. Come to think of it, maybe no one is. Anyone who could complete this challenge with 100% success could probably kill God himself. He knew that at the rate he was going, not only was he not going to hit even remotely close to the desired word count, but he'd probably burn out long before the 24-hour mark. No, it was certain. He needed an idea to keep this going, to keep him going, and fast. Fuck. He needed the universe to give him something. Give him anything. Fuck. Fan fiction? Could he write something totally batshit insane using properties that already existed? He wasn't planning on selling the novel or anything. He'd probably just print a copy for himself and share the link for anyone that felt like going through this drug trip of a book. Yeah, that could work, he thought. A fan fiction? But it'd have to be something he had extensive knowledge about. Minecraft? No. Die Hard? Back to the Future? No. Pokemon? Maybe. Yeah. And then it was then decided that the next portion of his novel would be his manifesto of what a Pokemon journey designed entirely by him would look like. And go. Chapter 11, Concept. A perfect Pokemon game will likely never exist, especially not with Game Freak's current track record. Ever since the transition to 3D, Pokemon games have felt bare, lifeless, a chore to play through. And that isn't to say that the newer games aren't all enjoyable. No, quite the contrary. They're not bad, just different than before. A bit of a worse kind of different, honestly. And while this isn't entirely to be attributed to the switch to 3D itself, it's important to note that by the end of the DS era, Game Freak was really great at marketing 2D Pokemon games. Black, White, Black 2, and White 2 were all pretty looking games. The 3D games, not so much. So can it be brought into consideration that Game Freak evolved in the wrong way? What if, perhaps, instead of switching to a 3-dimensional style, they lean further into the 2-dimensional plane? What if they produce Pokemon games in a hand-drawn style? It would be something that complements their strengths, as Pokemon art is very iconic and they're very good at making 2D games anyway, so this would just feel like a very natural progression. The battle system also needs to be reworked into a pretty drastic extent. It's so easy to spam moves that are guaranteed to do the most damage while in battle, and there's very little strategy involved, at least within the single-player story mode. There are many ways to go about fixing this, but very few could do so without completely reworking what makes the Pokemon games such classics. Here are a few things that could work. Removing 4x weaknesses and resistances is a must. It makes many Pokemon virtually unusable, whether in-game or through online multiplayer. It adds very little to the strategy and encourages the player to spam moves that hit real good. Consider this gone. In Pokemon games, there has always been a menu option to switch between the set and shift battle styles. Shift allows the player to switch their Pokemon out in preparation for a trainer they're battling to send out a new one. Set treats the player more fairly when compared to the computer players, making them dwell in their own shitty decisions as Misty sends in a Starmie and uses confusion on your dumb fucking Bulbasaur. Many younger players may want to play with the shift style on, so while it should not be removed, it should definitely not be the default option. Also, difficulty options. Damn, I really thought I was going to write about Pokemon for 12 hours, huh? I really don't want to go back to the Tree Man anthology, though. Fuck it. How did Doug get good at karate? Chapter 13. How did Doug get good at karate? He got karate lessons. Chapter 14. I am losing my mind. Fuck it. This one's canon. It's 2:40 a.m., and I'm definitely awake thanks to the ungodly amount of caffeine I've absorbed with my central face cavity, but holy shit, I do want to die. This is literally the worst. Caleb, since you're the only one reading this probably, or at least the only one who'd go as far as to read 40 pages of this chapter is for you. How the hell do you do this? I'm serious. I'm almost 11 hours in, and I haven't even reached 10,000 words yet. How did you possibly manage to write 40,000 in a little over double that? It's unreal, dude. How are you able to work so efficiently? And not only that, but how are you able to keep working for so long without giving up? Where does that tenacity come from? I seriously admire, envy, and also concern myself about you, dude. This is starting to have physical ramifications on my body. My face's nerve endings seem to be telling me that something's touching my entire face, even though nothing is. It's fucking wild, dude. I'm at a complete and utter loss. No, I'm not giving up yet. I still have quite a bit more tree novel in me before my brain makes me stop. I'm just not entirely sure where to take it from here. Fuck it, the next chapter is just going to be about a tree. Chapter 15, Tree. Damn, look at that tree. Tall, made of wood, leaves and such. I respect it. Chapter 16. I really want to get better at making music. I feel like it's something I can be good at too, if I really applied myself. I do eventually want to rebrand my musical alter ego to just be Lanky instead of Lanky J. I like that more. I'll probably do that if I ever make something I feel is good enough to release on Spotify and the other big streaming platforms, whatever they are. I really want to be great at something. I think I'm just kind of okay at a lot of things. Nothing I feel like I'm great at. Maybe someday. The rest of chapter 16 is going to be random words that pop into my head. Apple, orange, banana, yellow, pear, green, apple, fruit, veggie, vegetable, coma, patient, hospital, Joker, Heath Ledger, death, gray, skull, red, tesseract, Optimus Prime, optimal, Twitch, streamer, mousepad, mouse, mice, rat, camera, chips, pen, pencil, knife, cut, blood, bleed, scissors, desk, lamp, fade, out, in, pod, gum, key, glass, dog, god, periwinkle, blue phone, seismic, real, fish foam cotton contact pants, jeans bed frame, mattress desktop steakhouse, bacon cheeseburger, plus medium tots, $4.99, fast speedy speed run, Minecraft epic, Fortnite gamer, ninja emoji, mind control, feet, hands, chapstick, tripod, beach wax, bikini, swimsuit, abs, sand, ocean, sea, red pirates, sword, katana, mouth, soda, caffeine, magic liquid, sleep, solid, goo, yuck, dapper, horse, stapper, horse, stapper, horse, stapper, horse, stapper, horse, control, alt, delete, life, intelligence, wisdom, dome, meme, meander, detergent, entrail, entail, ailment, not automaton, one nerd, red dirt, retweet, please stop, no, why, sleep, 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 art, create, art, Mountain Dew, fan, noise, wall, neighbor, loud sex, music, bass, deprivation, late, groan, moan, bone, zone, throne, known, gone, orbit, trident, change, country, sent, spent, chair, gamer, continue, glamour, fantastic, coffee, sugar, extra cream, black, to go, wallet, climb, rocks, rock, 369, microwave, watermelon, random, macaroni, butter, cheese, funny, soup, very funny, soup, smart, meat, flat woods, monster, boogeyman, woman, hat, cap, none, reset, brain, heart, soul, body, mind, personality, need, want, sleep, now, later, then, was, how, when, was, smack, crackle, pop, dinosaur, ninja party, strange concoction, drink, food, ice, nice, rice, vice, president, precedent, musical, lanky, scrawny, child, thing, creature, early morning, rise, shine, and go out, who is, was, chip, clock, block, mountain, mound, bottle, feelings, feeling psychotic, therapy, jar, ajar, agape, gale, wing, foot, ship, kike, kangaroo, massive desert eagle flown. Chapter 17. A self-contained little short story. A lady in skinny jeans and a tank top opened her eyes to find herself on the shore of an island. She looked around. She'd never been here before. She had no idea how she got here. Her name was Sarah Brooks, a waitress at a coffee shop in downtown Brooklyn. But there wasn't any deserted islands off the coastline in New York, was there? How strange. Peculiar, even. She took in her surroundings. All that was nearby was a thin forest, thin enough that you could see the other side of the ocean through it, and a small chest sitting neatly inside the sand behind her. She opened it. A letter sat atop some materials. She read the letter. Congratulations again for your lucky win in the PepsiCo Outlandish Travel Sweepstakes, it read. This is a private island owned by our family here at PepsiCo. It is an island that operates outside of the United States and outside the bounds of civil law. On this island, you will find one other lucky winner of our Outlandish Travel Sweepstakes. Kill them, or let them kill you. You will never find an opportunity like this ever again. If one of you is still alive by sunrise tomorrow, then you will both be eliminated. Again, congratulations and enjoy your vacation, sponsored by PepsiCo. The chest also contained a dagger, rope, a matchbox, and an assortment of PepsiCo snacks and beverages. Sarah looked back through the forest. She could make out a figure on the other side. They seemed as if they were looking down, reading. The figure looked up and directly at Sarah. Sarah scrambled to hide behind the chest. Her breathing began to increase rapidly. She didn't remember entering any sweepstakes, and she certainly didn't sign up to win some murder island vacation. She tried gathering her thoughts. It worked. She was now thinking. It didn't matter how long she got here. It was her versus the other. Little did she know that the other lucky winner was professional wrestler turned actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Dwayne's eyes opened. He found himself started on a deserted island with nothing but a treasure chest by his side. He read the letter. Oh yeah, I remember signing up for this, he said to himself. Ha, classic me. He turned his head toward the forest. He could make out the silhouette of the other winner, who swiftly hid behind their treasure chest. He looked back at the contents of his own chest. Well, I don't imagine I'll be needing any of these, he said, rummaging through the materials. Well, maybe I'll take a Diet Pepsi. Sarah clasped her dagger close to her chest. Would she really be able to let go of her humanity like that? Would she be able to take a human life? She wouldn't let the thought cross her mind, but it made a home in her heart. She circled the island, not making a sound. Each of her steps made an imprint in the sand, because that is, of course, how sand works. The other contestants soon entered her range of vision. She hid behind a tree. The man had his back facing her. He got up and tilted his bald head back, holding a can of one of the Pepsi products to his lips. He stopped drinking and faced forward again. She leaned in to get a better view. She recognized this man's shape. She couldn't quite place her finger on it, but he jolted his neck around, his head almost entirely facing her now. She pulled herself behind the tree. Is that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? She thought to herself. His voice boomed from the shore. If you're thinking, is that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson right now? The answer is yes. He flexed his shirt off with the might of an array of Greek gods. Could I possibly outrun Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? She thought to herself. His voice boomed again as he made his way over to her. If you're thinking, could I possibly outrun Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson right now? The answer is no. He burst into a sprint. Holy shit, that's terrifying, she thought, as she began to climb the tree. Ugh, he roared. Damn it, my muscles are too huge to allow me to climb trees. They'd weigh me down faster than they'd let me climb. It appeared she had stayed the beast that was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, for now. But she couldn't stay in that tree forever, because if she did, they'd both die. As night fell upon the cursed corporate-owned island, Dwayne said fuck it and decided to try and light the tree on fire. However, starting a fire large enough that would burn the tree would take a lot of wood, so he was out foraging for large sticks to burn. Sarah remained in the tree, holding onto her dagger, and oddly enough, wishing she had taken a couple of Pepsi products to snack on and drink. Like, sure, they had put her on an island with a man that had literally intended to kill her, but they make damn good products. She needed to think. How could she possibly kill Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? He roared. What's wrong, big guy? She asked. I'm tired of looking for sticks. I just want blood. He marched his way over, with fire in his eyes. Sarah knew she wouldn't like whatever came of this. And she didn't. He punched the tree down. Like he straight up punched the tree so hard that it succumbed to his will. Yes, like Minecraft. Whoa, wait, she pleaded, crawling on her back away from the raging titan. If you promise not to kill me, I'll have sex with you. Ew, gross, he said. I have a wife. But this island isn't bound by laws, remember? I mean, yeah, but morality still exists. And what's moral about killing a barista, Dwayne? Huh, you have a point. And so, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Sarah chilled on the island until the PepsiCo men came to kill them. But, terrified of Dwayne's might, they gave him the keys to their private helicopter and they flew their way back to civilization, mostly unscathed. Chapter 19, Stan Jungkook. Chapter 20, I feel a little better now. I'm laying down in bed, typing away. I had some water, that seems to have helped the headache a bit. I still feel incredibly low functioning, and I very much would like to sleep, but I just can't bring myself to stop now. I've come this far. It's 5:48 a.m., 14 hours into this challenge, and I do not want to give up now. I know that if I take a nap now, I will not want to wake back up. If I can hit 20,000 words, I think I'll be happy. Anyway, where to take the story from here? Chapter 21. Reciting the entire plot of Die Hard, 1988, from memory, also without backspacing or autocorrecting. A man with a pretty terrible hairline sits on an airplane. The next to Haim looks over. Nervous, he asks. Yeah, man, I don't like heights very much, says Bad Hairline Guy. Bad Hairline Guy's name is John McClane, and he is being played by Bruce Willis. Well, let me tell you this, man. When you get to wherever you're going, take your shocks off and make first with your toes on the carpet. They say it helps relax. Oh, thanks, man, whatever, John says, standing up and reaching for his luggage. There is a gun in his pants, and the guy gulps in fear. It's okay, I'm a cop, John says. John walks to the airport, and he walks right past some guy making out with a hot chick. He sees a limo driver holding a sign with his last name on it. I remember the limo driver had a pretty cool name, like Lionel or Regis. Anyway, the guy's new to limo driving, so he lets John sit up front with him, and they talk about what John, the New York cop, is doing in LA for Christmas. His wife Holly had gotten a very good job in LA, so she and the kids moved there. But John couldn't leave his job as a New York cop. But John's visiting now for Christmas, so that's pretty cool. I remember the taxi guy's name now. He's a limo driver, and his name is Argyle. John gets out of the building where his wife with Holly's job's Christmas party is going on, and Argyle offers to wait for her hust in case it doesn't go well with his wife. Jahan's like, So John gets out and goes in the building, and Argyle pulls into the parking deck and sits there for a while. John has to check in with the front desk and notices his wife Hills going by her maiden name now, Holly Gennaro. He's like, huh, okay, and goes up to the 30th floor where the party is. When he gets there, Gahey goes to his wife's office and finds her in there with her boss and also this fucking douchebag. I don't remember what his name is. I just hate that guy. Douchebag guy brags about this watch he bought for Holly. Like, okay, we get it, man. You're a douchebag. Let the man and his wife talk. It's been so dog-gam long. One of them looks at the picture of their family and sets it down for some reason. I'm sorry, I don't remember if that was John or Holly. Then John takes off his socks after a bit of a fight with Holly, and Holly storms out of the office, leaving John in there. Then he takes off his socks and does the fist thing on the carpet. Meanwhile, the parking deck locks Argyle in, and a group of men enter the building. A bunch of terrorists go up to the third floor, including Hans Gruber, played by Dilf heartthrob Alan Rickman. May he rest in peace. The terrorists round everyone up, but John's unable to escape unseen up the stairwell, is still without socks or shoes on. Hans takes the big boss guy upstairs to a business room and reveals that they're looking to take a lot of money from him, so they need a code for a safe or something. The guy's like, I don't have that password, you just have to shoot me then. And Ahan's like, okay then, and he fucking does. John was there and saw the whole thing because he is a badass undercover cop. But he then makes a noise or something, and the terrorists hear him. One goes to check it out, but he manages to slip away unnoticed instead. They cut the phone lines, so John has no way to contact the police or anything. So he tries pulling a fire alarm, but notifies Hans of his position. He also has someone tell the police that I was just a prank call and there was nothing to worry about, so they have the police and firefighters turn around. Hans sends someone to go check the other off their floors. John is freaking out in a floor that is still under construction, and then this blonde German dude walks in with the machine gun, but John grapples with him down some stairs and ends up killing him, taking the dude's machine gun. Also, I think this is where he gets the duffel bag with the explosives and detonators and stuff in it, but that also might be later, so don't quote me on that. He uses the guy's walkie-talkie to try and communicate with the police station, but they're like, Duade, this station is for emergencies only, and he's like, what the fuck do you think I'm doing? They begrudgingly send over someone in the area. This guy's name is Al Powell. He's played by the dude from Family Matters, and I wish I remembered his real name. He pulls into the building. John has to fight some more guys. Oh shit, I forgot about the now I have a machine gun ho 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 scene. Well fuck, okay, well that happened. Anyway, Al enters the building and talks to the guy at the front desk, but little does he know that it's a terrorist ready to kill the shit out of him if he pulls anything. But he's like, alright, everything seems cool here, and gets ready to leave, so John decides to drop a dead terrorist on his car. That catches the attention of the LAPD. So now they show up, and Al ends up finding Jin on the radio line, but he can't give out his real name because Hans could still be listening in, so he tells him to call him Roy. These two have fun buddy cop kind of dynamic, and it is very nice. John fights the terrorists some more and ends up on the roof. There he finds Hans Gruber frantically trying to find his detonators because he just took them recently, I guess. There was an explosion that John caused at one point because the FBI came and pulled some shit. I'm usually a lot better recaling the events of Die Hard. I'm very sorry. But yeah, Hans does a weird American accent and pretends to be a straggler, someone who escapes from the party. John's like, "Aight, cool, hang out with me if you want a chant of survival," and asks if he's overused a gun before. Hans says, yeah, for hunting and stuff, and John's like, well, here you go, and gives him a gun. He then turns his back and walks away, telling him to follow, but Hans is like, ah ha ha ha, you fool! It was me the whole time. I will now shoot you in the head. And Jin turns her back around and walks towards him. Hans pulls the trigger, but it fires a blank. John's like, what the fuck? You thought I'd give you a loaded gun? Are you serious? But then another terrorist swoops in and starts shooting at John a lot, so he has to run away. They break a bunch of glass, so John's fields get all gut up on his way out. When John is bandaging his shredded feet in the bathroom, he's also on the phone with Al, and it's revealed that Al shot a kind once, so he doesn't do much more than paperwork nowadays. John's like, man, sorry to hear about that, even though honestly it's pretty good idea for him not to be using a gun at all after that. Then the news figures out who John is and leaks it to everyone, and now Hans knows his name, but since Holly's last name is Gennaro, he doesn't put that together at all. But then that guy from earlier, the douchebag, walks in and he's like, okay, John going around causing this much trouble is bad for us too, so let me talk to him for ya. I'm his good friend. And Hans is like, sure, whatever. Yo, John, the douchebag says over the radio, turn yourself in to the terrorist if you really care about us, about me, your best friend. And John's like, dude, I know you think you're helping, but Hans is literally going to kill you. Hans, I do not know this man. I met him tonight. Please don't kill him. And then Hans kills him. And then at some point, the news is interviewing John and Holly's kids on the radio, and we're like, we miss you, mommy and daddy, equals, and then Big Brain Hans is like, wait a gosh darn second, and flips up the picture frame from the beginning of the movie, and he's like, oh, why hello, Mrs. McLean. He takes her with him, and he has the terrorist send everyone up to the roof. John beats some more Germans up, and he's like, where's Holly? When he gets to the foof, and they're like, downstairs. And then John tells them the roof's gonna explode if they don't leave right now, but they didn't to listen. So he starts firing a gun in the air to catch their attention, like how you fire guns in the R when you want to catch someone's attention. Cue that it catches their attention and they run downstairs. But helicopter with the FBI in it starts firing at John because they think he's a terrorist. Then John fashions a fire hose to himself and jumps off the roof, narrowly avoiding a large explosion, and he crashes in through one off the lower floors. The hostages escape, and now Han is just looking for Holly and Hans. Then we get the iconic scene where he cucked tapes a handgun to his sweaty back, and he reaches behind him and shoots Hans and the final terrorist. Hans follows up out the window, but oh no, he's cuffed on Holly's watch. Yes, the one from earlier, and Holly's almost taken out with him. Hans is like, okay, well, now that we're both in this position, I'm going to shoot you guys now, ha ha ha. But John takes off her watch for her, and he falls 30 floors to his death. Then they walk out of the building, and oh no, one of the terrorists is still alive and tries to shoot John, but someone shoots the guy first. It's Al, yay. And then Argyle, oh yeah, Argyle is such a great guy. He did some important stuff too. I just forgot to add it in where it belonged, whoops. Drives the limo around and picks up John and Jolly. Holly punches a reporter in the face, and Let Snow plays as the credits roll. Chapter 22. I am sorry for Chapter 21. I really am. Chapter 23. And now, a poem. Gentle breeze. Kisses my face all over. Yo, fuck this wind, bro. Chapter 24. Page 56. Well, this really has taken a lot out of me, hasn't it? My fingers are pretty goddamn calloused. I kind of wanted this page to tie everything that happened before it into something sensible, but I just don't know how possible that is. I jumped from a simple story about a tree that turned into a human into an anthology series following his descendants, but got bored of that after like 2 chapters and started ranting about Pokemon games. I wrote a short story about being stuck on a murder island with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and I finished with a very hard-to-follow retelling of 1988's Die Hard. But man, what a journey it's been. Just fucking kidding. Holy shit, I'm so unbelievably glad this is over. I enjoyed almost none of it, and genuinely hope that I never have to read this. At first, I planned on maybe making a physical copy of this for myself, but I absolutely never want to think about this again. Like, genuinely. I do plan on doing projects pretty similarly to this in the future. However, and I feel like I've learned a thing or two from this experience as a whole, so I can better prepare for next time. If you've made it this far in the book, I feel really bad for you. Like, actually. Maybe reading this was more entertaining than me writing it. Maybe it was more fun. Maybe it was fun watching my mental state take a very sharp and drastic decline around the 10th chapter mark and continuing to deteriorate from there. But hey, if you made it all the way to page 56, congratulations, or sorry, whichever one of those statements you think most applies to your circumstance. End of tree novel. Oh my god, my throat hurts. It's done. Bye.